Yo, what is up, guys? AMG here. Very excited for this video. This is the first video outside of the series that I'm doing, which is the Road to Top 200 challenge. So this is gonna be a spell tier list video, guys. Made this list for you guys. The way I'm gonna be ranking it, so hopefully you guys don't get mad, but the reasoning for like my rankings are gonna be a little bit of how much you see this spell in like competitive play, how much you see it at like the higher level town halls, like 15, like 14 and up, let's say, I guess. And how often do we see them like in general? Like that is gonna be the I guess the methodology for this list. And yeah, let's get started with the one space spells. And then we'll get into the two space ones. So should we go bottom up or best first? I think it would be easier to start with the best spells. Um, okay, so in my opinion, the invisibility spell is probably the best one storage spell right now, or one of them. We'll decide later. But the reasoning for this, guys, Royal Champion Charge, right? That is one very key strategy where the Invis spell is very commonly used in, right? Another place where it's used in a lot is the Warden Walks, right? Um, where you fireball a base, right? So you make a bunch of buildings invisible, and then you throw the fireball. Uh, so it's very strange because before these strategies, the invis spell was a little bit niche and not commonly used. So if it was a while ago before the fireball, I would probably put it in like C tier. If it was only for with the fireball, I would put it at like a low A tier, but with the addition of the Royal Champion charges and how meta that is right now, I have to put it at S tier. So let's keep going. What is very commonly used? Very commonly used. Free spell, I would say goes in A tier or in S tier, maybe A tier. I would probably put it at S, maybe low S, maybe high A. Let's put it at S for now. The reasoning is, guys, very universally good spell. Like, um, it can be used in almost every attack and will get a lot of value in. Um, Not really much more to be said. Very good spell here. What else is very commonly used? Poison spell. Poison spell. I would put. Let's put it at the A tier. I would probably think about S, but it's very good against clan castle troops, right? But besides that, it does not really offer that much value. And the problem is, it often doesn't get too much value if there are like high health units in the clan castle, like ice golems, um, what do you call it, like super dragons, normal dragons, electro dragons. Yes, it will slow them down, but it's not gonna fully take them out. And for that reason, I'm putting it at probably high A tier. However, you could make an argument for low S, I would say. It's this high also because it's very commonly used, right? No matter the situation, it will give you a lot of value. So that's why it's up there. Lightning spell, I will put. Let's see, is there anything better here for the one storage? Is there anything better than the lightning spell here? Probably. Okay, let's put the earthquake. Let's put the earthquake at like a high B tier for now. A high B tier spell. Very useful spell, but it's a little bit niche. Oftentimes people use the earthquake spells in tandem with the rocket spear, the warden fireball strategy, and no, you really don't see anyone opening the base out, opening walls up with the earthquake spells, right? That was the original use for the spell. Um, it's a little bit more of a niche spell, but when used with its like proper strategies, it can be very effective. So right now I'm gonna put it at high B tier. You could make an argument for A for sure, but that's where I'm gonna leave it at. And honestly, same thing with the lightning spell. I would say it's a little bit more niche. People use the spell to take out like core compartments, but I don't think it's as effective as the earthquake in general. People often use it to take out like air sweepers and what do you call it? Like air defenses, right? That's where it's commonly used. Besides that, you don't really see it getting much play. Let's see. Another B tier. Okay, I'm gonna put the skeleton spell in B tier, and the reasoning, guys, is yes, it can be very useful, but it's still a very niche spell. Yes, you can use it to like distract buildings like the monolith and the like ricochet cannons. You can also use it to trigger invisibility spells, but it's very niche. It's not a necessary spell. It can be very useful, but sometimes it barely gets any value at all. So that's why it's in low B tier. I believe that's a solid placement for it. Now let's go to okay. This is hard. Haste spell. Okay, I might get a little bit of hate for this, but I'm gonna put it at C tier. The reason for this, guys, is you guys have the rage spell. Yes, it's one storage more, but it just the rage spell gives your army such a massive boost in attack damage that I think there's pretty much not much use for the haste spell. Like its range is also very small. Um, it can come in handy when you're doing like lava loon attacks and stuff like that to help those balloons out. But other than that, guys, there isn't much use for the haste spell, I believe. If you guys disagree, let me know. But you don't see it much in top meta. You don't see it at Town Hall 17. Very niche spell that I think deserves C tier. And lastly, I think we put the bad spell in C tier as well, maybe even D tier, but I'm gonna be a little bit lenient. The bad spell, guys, is once again a very niche spell. It used to be quite meta once it was good, but your whole attack basically revolves around this spell. You have to kill multi-target infernos, you have to kill wizard towers, stuff like that, and centering your whole attack around this thing is quite risky, and you basically never see it. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put it in the D tier, just not used at all. And yes, some of you guys may be using it and have success with it at lower level town halls, but in general, you really don't see the spell often. Okay, so now moving on to the other spells. By the way, let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Um, let's see, any changes that I can make here. Hmm. We could maybe move the earthquake to A tier. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think we will. I would say it's used a lot more. It's probably like the top 4 used spell for the one storage one. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. Might change my mind later. But 1 second, sorry. Next up we got the two storage spells. Let's go with the best one for sure. The best spell in the game, guys. Always been the best spell. You cannot go wrong with the rage spell, guys. This is probably the best spell in the game. Always has been. Always gets you a lot of value, no matter the army you're using. You really can't go wrong. Um, Definitely recommend you guys use the rage spell as much as you can. You see it with dragons, you see it with root riders, you see it with drag, like I already said that, but you guys see it everywhere, right? um so nothing much more that can be said there. Now, tough second place. Do we put the overgrowth in S tier? I think we do. I think we put the overgrowth in like right above the freeze spell. I think that's fair. Overgrowth spell, very useful. Um, hmm. You know what? We're gonna put it at high A tier. I'm sorry. Um, yes, you see it a lot with Root Riders, right? And the Root Riders are the best army in the game. But besides Root Riders, how often do you guys use Overgrowth spells? Because I honestly, on defense, when I look, not many people are using the overgrowth spells if it's not for the root riders. But the reason why you can make a case for low S tier or high A tier is because root riders are the best army in the game. So the overgrowth spell is really working in that army. So I have to respect that and put it in the high A tier. Next, healing spell. That deserves low S tier for sure. Healing spell, you can't go wrong with it as well. Quite similar to Rage, but I believe Rage is just the more used and like universally good spell. Let's put it above the freeze actually. So that's the reasoning for that. Now, see, this is tough because all of these spells, guys, are great, but in their own way. So, is there any spell here that could be in the A tier? Huh. Because all of them are very niche and all work very well, but they're not very common. I would put probably, I would say the best one of these is the clone spell. So I'm gonna put the clone spell at like a low A for now. Maybe high B, but I think low A suits it better. Um, very quite niche spell, but you see it a lot as well. You see it with the suicide blimp strategies, right? The super blimp or that siege machine, right? That goes straight to the town hall. People will throw a rage spell and a few clone spells to take out cores of bases with like the super archers, yetis, balloons, and you know what? Let's put it above the earthquake. Very good spell. Pretty common. I was gonna say it's pretty niche. It still is a little bit niche, but for the value it gives, sometimes if you're good, it's great. Let's see. Next, honestly, guys, I'm gonna throw both of these spells in the B tier, the high B tier. Um, hmm. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe low B tier for now. Revive spell, guys. Reasoning for that is it's still very new to the game. People are figuring it out, but with the royal champion, with like the archer queen, if she goes down, uh, it can come in handy to use it. However, in my opinion, personally, in as a player in High Legends League, I would probably recommend you use another rage spell or two more invisibility spells for your like if you're doing a royal champion charge, just having two more invisibility spells probably gets you a little bit more value, although because sometimes, guys, the revive spell will not do a whole lot. Like sometimes your champion will die or your hero will die in a very awkward spot in the map, and then when you revive it, the hero, they'll instantly go down. So it's very hard to rank the revive spell any higher. It's a good spell, but very niche, quite unpredictable at times. And I would just recommend you guys use like an other spells instead. I believe helping out your whole army with like a heal, rage, or invis spell is better than just reviving one hero. So yeah, that's my thought process on that, and a quite similar thing with the recall spell, very niche, not seen too often, but can work very well for like royal champions and archer queens, for example. With the giant arrow, like after you shoot it, you can relocate the queen, or with the royal champion, after she finishes her charge, you can safely escort her out of the base. I would say these two spells are tied. They're quite similar in like concept, right? They both bring your heroes back to life, give them another chance. Um, but yeah, that's my thought process on that. And I think lastly, we're gonna put I don't know where the jump spell should be. I'm not sure. I think I think I'll put it above, slightly above these spells here because personally, you don't see I don't see the jump spell too often. A lot of pros use it. It comes in handy in a few strategies. For example, let's put it above the lightning. Let's put it high B actually. I do see it a lot. It's used when in ground armies a lot where you don't have root riders or like it's used with super witches, electro titans, stuff like that. But guys, the best army in the game once again is root riders, right? That's why the overgrowth spell is so high. Because root riders are top of the meta, and overgrowth spells really only work very well with root riders. Yes, they can be used in other strategies, but not you don't see them as often. And then the spell, the jump spell, I'm putting it high B tier because for all the other ground armies, or for many of them, it can come in handy. So that's where I'm gonna put the jump spell. Any like improvements I would make? I'm not sure to be honest. I think this is a solid list. You could maybe switch the jump spell with the earthquake spell, but I think I'm gonna leave it how it is. Let me know if like I cooked with this. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. As I said at the start of the video, this is like my own. This is my own opinion. This is what do you call it? Based on like how often I see these spells used in top ladder or top trophies, and whether like esports players use these spells often. So yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. I think this was a definitely a nice change to the channel. I could make more tier list videos if you guys want, but yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope to see you guys soon. So bye.